The night before we moved into Wellington, the car's packed, the bags all ready to go. We're having a goodbye party, and my mate turns up with this new new motorbike, and we're like, oh, sweet. I was like, let's take it for a ride. So I go for a ride. You can imagine what happens. I come flying off with a serious accident, but completely smashed my left ankle and pretty much smashed my right wrist. This was the night before we were supposed to leave. I'm lying in the hospital bed going, completely drugged up with morphine. My dad walks in, and he's just like, oh no, what has happened? What's going on? This is your big move. This is the big thing. Anyway, so the guys all go. The whole band leaves, and all the band goes up, and so I kind of struggle. I think a couple of weeks later, get off the plane, and got crutches and sort of crutching into Wellington, and sort of driving in. Kate meets me. But anyway, it kind of didn't start that well. A big sort of taking over Wellington. It's like, yes, here we go, and it's like, and it's like, oh, wasn't the best start I could have asked for, God. But so we carried on. We still practiced a few. We went. I think we did one gig up here. But really, what happened during that time, during our first few years in Wellington, it was a real painful time in my life, because what I thought I had this massive big jump, and what I thought that we were going to be, going with, just felt like it was completely slipping away. It just felt like no matter what we did, we weren't getting any gigs we could do. And I was like, just what is happening here? This is because I feel so strong that this is what we were supposed to be doing. And it was sort of around about that time that we were coming to Elim and coming to church, and I was seriously going through big sort of heartaches, because this one thing that I was just deeply passionate about. Music was my life. I just loved it, and it was just I could see it basically slipping away. Our band was basically falling apart. People were going in different ways, and I was just going, what is going on? Anyway, about the same time I was coming to church, and I guess during that time God sort of changed my heart towards worship. It wasn't a big massive sort of thing. It was more of a gradual process. God, for me anyway, God doesn't sort of do these big sort of blinding things. It's just a gradual thing. It's a day-to-day thing, like Rebecca was saying. He just works on your heart somehow, and just somehow he changes you if you be faithful with him. But anyway, another thing I just want to throw in here is, if you're passionate about something, get around people who are passionate about the same things. You have to get yourself around people who are going to inspire you and get you to think to those big. And for me, those sort of people were Rick Knott, Brad Dring, and all the other people from this church who have just got these amazing sort of dreams. Anyway, around the same time, God just basically changed my heart towards worship. And he pretty much really, just took my eyes. If I look back, we were young because we wanted to be big. It was about us. It really was about us. And even though we'd tell everyone, oh, God, this is about you, but it's like, am I looking right for this gig? And God just changed my heart towards worship. It just gave me such a passion for worship. It's just such a passion to see his, just to touch him and just to get people on board with seeking God with all their hearts. That's what he did for me. And so what began to happen was to sort of change my vision. It was still music, but it wasn't about that. It was about God. So just changed me towards his kingdom and his purpose in my life. And and I suppose in terms of some of the things that I'm starting to see open up, things that are starting to see sort of come to fruition. In all honesty, I feel that I'm just on the very beginning in terms of starting to see some of the things that I've always been hoping for I'm talking like 10, 15 years, beginning to unfold, beginning to sort of crystallize. And it's exciting for me. It's an exciting time. The other day, a couple of weeks ago, I was going, God, I really need some encouragement, some inspiration. I was feeling a bit flat. I was feeling that he was sort of forgetting about do you still remember my dreams, God? All those times I was sort of like, this is what I got to do. Anyway, so I was like, God, I need some encouragement. So I'm sitting at work, tapping away and talking about people that, I work at a bank. And then I get this phone call randomly, and it's got, hi, it's Brendan from Parachute Records. And I'm like, oh, hi, how's it going? And he goes, oh, that song that you had on the new album, I Belong to You? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, well, the new Parachute band want to use it on their album. And so I was like, well, that's pretty cool. That's pretty exciting. What does it mean? And he's like, well, they want to use it as one of their main singles for this new album, and it's being distributed sort of globally via Integrity Records, which is a really big record company, and also it's going on a compilation album like at Creation Fest with like 25,000 people. So it was just amazing. It was just God going, hey, I haven't forgotten about you. I know that I know your heart. I know what you want to do, and it's and it's still there. It's still happening. And so it was. I mean, it's a small step, but it just sort of feel it was really encouraging to me. And so, if anything, I can help with you guys tonight with your dreams. I mean, that song which is going on that album, it was just. I think I wrote it in about 20 minutes, but it was at the right time. And you never know what God can use, what God can do with you, when you actually just start to step out and take a few steps. So if anything, or if I want to leave you tonight with you guys, I mean with anything, how that song is going to be being sung through the people. It's going to be sung among peoples. It's going to be sung throughout the nations.